Hi, everybody, and happy Halloween! Welcome to this spooky version of Book Club Review with Alicia Dianne. I am Alicia Dianne, obviously, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so on this Halloween day, 2024, we're going to be reviewing Selling for Dummies as usual, but now we are in part 5, and part 5 is growing your business. So growing your business starts with chapter 14, and that's the chapter that we read this last week. It's following up and keeping in touch, and I found this chapter really helpful because this is something that I desperately need to work on. Like, my follow-up is I don't know if they're gonna want to hear from me. I'm not sure if they're gonna if I send my newsletter, maybe they're gonna not what's it called, unsubscribe from my letter or whatever. Anyway, I've always had like issues with, not issues, but fear, I guess, of following up. So this was a really good chapter for me, and I hope that it was good for you. We're going to be reviewing everything, that all of the key points that we learned and all of the key takeaways. So one of the things that it says, or it starts off saying, is practicing consistent follow-up is proven to be one of the most important factors of successful selling. And I think that's really true, because I noticed this with the last client I had in the last gig I got, was that she was interested and she actually approached me, but she would keep on like pushing back. And what I had to do was I had to continue like following up. It's something that we're going to touch on it, like how to do that and like what that looks like a little bit further into this chapter. But it was through consistently following up that I was able to get that contract and get that sale. And I think that just following up, it's like what they say, you have to hear an advertisement 7 times before you actually make a purchase. It's kind of the same thing with your clients. They kind of have to hear from you and hear of you many times before they actually decide that yes, they want to go through with it. So we learned about marginal inquiries, that is people who may not respond to a sale but are open the door to other potential clients. And that's a really good thing, is because another thing that this chapter really talks about is getting leads, and following up is one of the things that's going to help you get those leads. All right, so I'm going to keep on moving, and it says when to follow up. When a client refers you somebody, when a client is happy with what they bought from you, when a client would benefit from a new version of what you have, when someone is difficult to reach, like I was just talking about someone I had that was difficult to reach, people in your network. So that would be fellow artists. If you're in, obviously, if you're watching this channel, you're probably in the art industry. So that would be fellow artists, peers, professors, co-peers, what do they call them? Colleagues. Anybody like that are people that you want to follow up with from time to time. And it says even the briefest contact or smallest sale can lead to a whole new list of referrals, and you want to treat every contact as if they have the potential to lead you to 1,000 new people. So that's a pretty big way to look at a person. So here's a list of clients' most pressing concerns. So reasons why your clients will want to hear from you and want to have easy access to you when they want to follow up is if you promise that you would call them. Obviously, you want to make a follow-up. If you say, hey, I'm going to reach back out to you and see how things are going, you want to make sure that you actually do that. They want to be able to reach someone whenever a need arises. They want to have ability to talk to someone in authority, so like the manager. And if you are an arts entrepreneur, then you are the manager. And let's see, knowing that the salesperson or company appreciates their business, so you want to let them know that you do appreciate that fact that they are giving you their hard-earned money, getting any problems resolved quickly, and getting honest information that applies to their delivery or solving issues. So they want to know like when you're going to be done, when the deadlines, making sure that you're going to meet those things, and they want to have follow-ups for those things. And recognizing how to follow up. So one of the things that it says is you want to ask the person at the point of whenever it is that you're meeting with them, is how you prefer that I keep in touch with you. And those options are usually going to be in person, by the phone, direct email, or direct mail, sorry. So that would be like the snail mail, so actually sending them something in the mail, email, and text. And it did give a couple of notes. So in person, you want to be proactive. So this, I think they kind of hinted at, or like made a point that if someone is selling, if you're selling someone like office equipment, which you're probably not if you're watching this video, then you want to like possibly keep in touch with them in person. Or if this is someone that you see or like has a business that is not far from you, or that someone that you would normally interact with, then in those situations, interacting with them and following up with them in person makes sense. Over the phone, it says to make sure that if you're going to leave a voicemail, make sure that you make it interesting. Don't be boring. Kind of leave a nugget of maybe something that will make them want to call you back. Like give them some sort of a, oh, I have something really interesting I want to share with you, and like make it something that they're actually interested in. So hopefully when you were doing your prospecting, you know what that client wants, and you know like what will probably make them interested in calling you back. So make sure that you don't leave a boring message. Direct mail. It says it's a good idea to leave premium, so I guess that would be equivalent to coupon codes or coupons, and it's like the same thing. Like those are the only ads that I actually look at when I get like some sort of a advertising in the mail, if it actually has a coupon attached. So I think if you do send something in the mail, then you should include some sort of a discount, some sort of an offer that's a limited time, so that they'll actually appreciate what you're sending to them. And let's see, what else did it say? Following with people in your network, so make sure that you also keep in touch with people that are in your business as well. Email, you want to keep it short and sweet. That was one of the key things I noted about the email, especially if you have a mailing list. You don't want to send a long letter every time, and that's, I think, something that I was doing, especially when I first started doing newsletters, is I would felt like I had to make it worthwhile, in my opinion. But actually people don't want to read a long message, and it was saying and mentioning that people already feel guilty when they don't read all their messages. So it's better to keep it short, to the point, be direct about the key things that you want them to take away. And if you have links, make sure you include what's valuable about it, and so that they don't feel like obligated to like read the whole message, that they get and see what you're wanting to show them. So if it's a link, they can click it fast and get on to the next thing that they're doing, because everybody has a busy life. Text messages, send it brief. Don't use abbreviations like LOL, but keep them short is basically the whole idea. And this is going to be also like leading to the how do you prefer to be contacted. So you really just wanted to send text if that person asked you to send text. All right, thank you notes and gifts. So thank you notes, they give a whole list of when you should send thank you notes, and I think I have all of these things here. So yeah, so when you want to send a thank you note, if you have their address, like a physical address, then you can go ahead and send a handwritten note. I think those are always really nice and rare, that people don't really get them. Whenever someone buys something for me that I have to mail to them, I always include like a thank you note, like a handwritten thank you note. But if you just have their email, and you met them, let's say you just booked a meeting with them, just send a thank you. It's really easy. It takes only like 2 minutes to send a quick thank you. And it gives a couple of other reasons why you should send it, or when you can send it, when it's appropriate time. If they gave you a contact, whether it's in person or over the phone, after a sales presentation, after a purchase, if they give you a referral, if they finally said no to you and chose someone else, you still want to send them a thank you for their time. And which I feel like that's going to be hard for me, because I know I'm in my feelings, so you have to always not take things personal. And this is one of the biggest things I'm learning from this book, is that you're going to get rejected, and not to be offended by it, because it's just part of the sales game. Like regardless, you're going to fail. It's like you're playing. One of the things I was listening to is like developing success is getting into like the Super Mario effect. It's like, you're gonna die. That like at some point you're gonna fall into the little hole, or Bowser's gonna send a fireball your way, but you don't give up. It's like you don't really feel discouraged when you die in Super Mario, because you expect it. So you have to kind of approach business in the same way. You're gonna have failures, you should expect them, and you just have to keep going and trying again. And let's see, if they chose someone else to do business with, send them a thank you note anyway. Let's see, anyone who gives you service. Also, if someone is helping you out, if so, like let's say you hire someone too to help you in some way with your art, make sure you send them a thank you note. And on anniversary dates, not their wedding anniversary, but like if it's been a year since they made a purchase from you, like let's say you illustrated a book from them and it's been a year since it's been published, something like that, you can just send a note and just say, hey, I remember you, blah blah blah. All right, thank you gifts. And this is for if someone goes out of their way to help you. Let's say someone talks to a recruiter and gets you a job. Let's say someone like goes out of their way to make contact to get you a meeting that's hard to get, or get you in contact with someone who doesn't like to be contacted, or someone that's high ranked. Anytime someone does something like that they didn't have to do that's really helpful for you, you want to send them some sort of a gift, and keep it small and appropriate. And you also want to make sure that it goes along with that it's okay in their business. I know there's some things, like some types of jobs that don't allow gifts above like a certain dollar amount. Like you'd have to check and find out. So make sure that you're aware of those types of things as well. Let's see. It also says this is rule of 6, which is I thought was really helpful. So you want to make sure that you contact a prospect a minimum of 6 times in a 12-month period. I thought that was really good. I'm getting an order for the way that you stay in contact with your prospects. So like whether you just keeping track of when you contact them and when you follow up with them, and take notes on when you follow up with them. Like what did they say they wanted? What did they say they don't want? What did they say they like or don't like? You want to keep in contact with, or keep record of those types of things. And it gave a couple of like websites that can help you with keeping those things in order. There's one called act.com and another one called salesforce.com. So I haven't checked them out yet, but maybe I'll see if those would probably be helpful for me. And hopefully they could be helpful for you as well. And let's see. If you're a beginner, you want to, it says you want to see how often they want to hear from you. I thought that was a good tip too, especially because it included to never ask like how often I should contact you. You want to ask how I should contact you, but never how often. Instead of that, you want to say, hey, I want to reach back out to you in like 30 days to see how everything's going. Is that going to be okay? And whether they want you to reach out to them sooner or later, they'll probably tell you right then and there. And never harass your customers. I mean, this kind of goes for show, but it's true how often you hear like a daily newsletter that's like way too much. I never like those. I don't like getting a bunch of text messages from like sales stuff. So just like be considerate in what you would want, and make sure that you also extend that same courtesy to other people that you're in contact with. I would never send a newsletter more than once in a week unless you're doing a Kickstarter. But other than that, just don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty to the point. Keep track of your success. I thought this was really helpful too, and I'm going to put a star next to it. It says to keep a success journal of all the things that work for you. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, because I keep a goals journal of like my goals and like my progress and like action steps and things like that. But I think I've like thought of it, like tried it before, but I haven't been consistent in keeping a success journal, and that really made sense to me. So that's something I want to do, like all the things that worked, what made them finally say yes to you, what types of things do they say they enjoy. Write those things down, and when customers give you notes too, or clients give you notes, or even like portfolio reviews, keep those types of things too, so you can learn where and when you need to improve. So I thought that was really good. Sticking with your follow-up program, it says don't hesitate or to reach out to someone who can help you in your business, who can give you notes and help you to like improve. So someone who's doing the same thing you're doing, but probably a couple of steps ahead of you. That way they can give you advice, and hopefully it's somebody that is willing and able to give you advice. So I recommend getting a business advisor. I have one that I meet with once a month. It's not terribly expensive, and it's definitely worth it. So I recommend that. All right, guys, that is the end of this chapter. Next, we're reading chapter 15, Using the Internet to Make More Sales. So if you guys have never heard of the World Wide Web, that's what we're going to be getting into next week. Hopefully they give us some good tips that, are not too obvious. I think it'll be a good read. I don't think it's too long either. So we're almost done with this book. I can't wait to get to the next one. The next one we're going to be reading is Steal Like an Artist. So if you don't already have this book, go ahead and get it as soon as the next one on our list. And until I see you guys next time, be grateful, live balanced, and be spooky, guys. Happy Halloween. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.